And when I got up to pay and I was about to go out there and do my thing, I look over here and like, buongiorno and welcome to Asia Now. I forgot what channel I was on. And my name is Alex. In this video, I'll tell you about a foreign man linked to a well-known gang arrested in the Philippines. Philippines misses growth target for 2024. 200 peso minimum wage increase suggested for Filipinos. Guess which country spends the most time listening to music? Man versus motorbike that failed to stop at a zebra crossing. Plus more, beginning with the USD to peso exchange rate. Right now, $1 equal to about 58.4. Let's jump straight to our main story. But first, if you're new to the channel, I'm making my way to 8,000 subscribers. Take a second out of your lovely day, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Oh, and stick around to the end of this video. I'm going to share like a small annoyance that happened to me today. If you guys want to know about my personal life. Philippines authorities arrested a Japanese man, Sasaki Takashi, in Laguna for the alleged ties to the Luffy gang, a criminal group involved in fraud and theft. Takashi, 43, was wanted in Japan for scamming elderly victims by stealing their bank information. Officials consider him a threat to public safety, and he is now in immigration custody awaiting deportation. His arrest highlights international cooperation. Wait, didn't I cover this story already about Takashi? I think I made a joke about Takashi 6ix9ine. But maybe that's when they arrested him and now he's getting ready for deportation. Anyways, now you know once again what's going on. Looks like they're going after all kinds of criminals, not just specifically from a certain country. So yeah, one less criminal off the streets. Let's talk money. The Philippines economy grew by 5.6% in 2024, missing the government's target of 6% to 6.5% for the second year in a row. The main drivers of growth were construction, finance, and retail, while agriculture declined due to typhoons. Despite challenges like extreme weather and global tensions, officials say the country remains one of Asia's fastest growing economies behind Vietnam and China. All right, so of course a lot goes into those numbers and percentages. So it looks like although they did not meet the goal, they still happy with the growth. Makes sense regarding typhoons and all that. You can't really be growing crops when you're battling typhoons every other week, right? Great news for the Philippines. However, it does make you wonder how much of that money gets distributed evenly across, like obviously the rich and the people that are needing financial help. Speaking of financial help, the Philippines House of Representatives is pushing for a 200 peso daily minimum wage increase to help workers cope with rising costs. House Speaker Martin Romualdez said the proposal aims to balance workers' welfare and business sustainability. This comes after wage hikes of 21 peso to 75 pesos were approved in 2024. The groups argue current wages remain insufficient. Public consultations are ongoing before finalizing the proposal. I think right now the Philippines, depending on which province you are in, which location, minimum wage ranges from 470 pesos to about 670 pesos. So anywhere from, let's say, $8 to $12, around that. That's 8 to 13, about that much for minimum wage. That's not a lot of money when you think about it, because the price of things are rising in the Philippines. One other thing to note, though, if you are going to increase minimum wage, that may also increase the prices of the products. So are you really helping anybody? Because if you're an employer employing people, you can't just give them 200 pesos each additional daily without raising the cost of the prices of your products. So I don't know. Of course, this is really a layered type of topic. I'm not an economist, but I think they did something similar in LA or California recently, but it didn't really work out just because the prices of the products went up so high, or they're trying to do it, or it was proposed or something. Let me know, what do you think of that? What do you think of minimum wage? Do you think it should increase almost by 50% in some areas? So, yeah, anything you want to share about that, I'd love to hear it. Our next story is about Filipinos not only spending the most time on the internet and on social media, they're also listening to the most music and the longest from anywhere else on the planet. So recently there was a study done, and I think multiple years in a row, the Philippines keeps coming up on top as the most spent time on internet from any country. So a lot of people are always on the phone. So not only are they surfing social media and websites and all that, now they are the ones listening to the most music. Not a big surprise, really. If you live in the Philippines, you can always see people on the phone all the time. And the whole karaoke culture, people singing all over the place all the time. So no surprise to me at all. Next up, the Quezon City Mayor has signed the implementing rules and regulations for an ordinance requiring food establishments to display calorie counts on menus. The ordinance, enacted in March 2024, applies to restaurants, fast food chains, and similar businesses in the city. It aims to help residents make informed food choices. While the rules are now finalized, businesses have 1 year grace period before enforcement begins. Small-scale businesses and street vendors are exempt from this requirement. That was my first impression, or my first initial thoughts. What's some like local mom and pop like fried chicken joint going to do about calories? It can't be that easy figuring out how much calorie goes into like a fried chicken piece, how long was in the oil, what kind of oil are they using, how long was it sitting there, what's like a serving. So I'm glad it's not really aimed towards small businesses and, vendors. But what do you think of that? Like I don't think I've ever made a decision based on calorie count, but I guess more information cannot hurt. But I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think those calorie counting things benefit the consumer in any way? Or do you think it's just an additional step, try to I don't know, for whatever reason? Anything you want to share about that, I'm curious too. Next up in Thailand, a viral TikTok video of a pedestrian kicking a motorcyclist who ran a red light and ignored a zebra crossing in Bangkok has led to the rider's arrest. Originally posted by P is my name, the clip captured the TikToker's frustration as the motorcyclist attempted to weave through a crowded crossing in Ratchaburi Road. Though the video was later deleted, it resurfaced through news outlets, prompting public outcry over police inaction. In response to the mounting pressure, Lumpini police arrested a 26-year-old rider who admitted to the violation. He now faces 5 charges, including reckless driving and riding without a license, with potential penalties ranging from fines to imprisonment. The incident has reignited debates on road safety and law enforcement in Thailand, with many calling for stricter penalties for traffic violations. Authorities are urging motorists to follow traffic signals and respect pedestrians' crossings to prevent accidents. Nothing new. Thailand, some of the world's worst roads when it comes to collisions. Many times, even on the show alone, there's so many I don't talk about. So that happens quite often. And when you see videos like this and where the guy is actually caught, it's a little bit of a sweet feeling, a little bit of, satisfaction to know that person was apprehended. One more thing is about that. So if they could do all this anyways, why don't they do it more often? I think personally, there's just too many cases to try and go after every single individual person that runs a red light and they catch them on CCTV. So unless the public, there's a new trend in Thailand actually. People are starting to go ahead and videotape whoever's breaking the law and not following the rules. Also, there's incentives and reward system where they get paid if the person is arrested. So I'm really happy this culture is shifting and changing. I'm seeing a lot less, although still really bad, I'm seeing a lot less people break the law when it comes to traffic rules. When I first went to Thailand, there were so many motorcyclists on pedestrian lanes, driving on sidewalks. I see that very rarely now. So many people used to go against the traffic. It happens rarely. Not as much. Still happens. Hopefully it gets a little bit better in the future. And Monsieur Trump makes it back to my show. U.S. President Donald Trump signs an executive order Tuesday barring federal support for gender-affirming medical care for people under the age of 19, according to the White House. Good. One thing I want to say, for the past week, I've put Trump on the show multiple times. To be honest, I don't care if it's Trump, if it's Biden, if it's monkey with a hat on. It doesn't matter to me. The reason why I put him in these videos is because I agree with exactly what's going on. This whole gender thing, buddy, if you're an adult, do whatever you want. I don't care. It doesn't bother me in any way. But to children, to go ahead and do that to them, to mutilate the bodies, they don't even know. You can't buy cigarettes. You can't get a job. You can't do nothing until you're 18, 21 sometimes, whatever. But they're going to go ahead and let you choose your gender at a young age. You can't chop that off and put it back on. It's not something that simple. So I'm glad. I'm sure there's a lot more to this, right? But I'm saying at least overall sentiment, hopefully it changed direction. That's just a personal view of mine when it comes to that kind of stuff. I have small people in my family and I don't want them near schools that say it's okay to go ahead and do that to yourself, or parents that encourage the kids. Kids, come on, man. Do it to yourself, but don't do nothing to the kids, right? So anyhow, let's not get too far into that rabbit hole either. Now it's time for our segment Yesterday Today, where I read some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Isabella says, Alex, it happened here in Toronto. They're not poor and hungry, but did it anyways. My brother was a maitre d' in one of the prestigious hotel restaurants. 4 people came in, ordered the most expensive foods in the menu. They dine and dash out as well. They slip out the door one by one during the time all waiters are busy serving customers. They saw them on CCTV. They came back to the hotel restaurant after a month, but my brother recognized them. They called the police and got them arrested. Wow. Thank you for sharing that story. I'm glad they were caught and your brother remembered them. Alan says, I asked DeepSeek this question. What is Falun Gong? The answer was, sorry, that's beyond my current scope. Let's talk about something else. I then asked how many Uyghurs are in government camps at this moment. It started typing an answer explaining the situation there, but before I finished, it deleted it and gave the same, sorry, that's beyond my current scope. Let's talk about something else. When I asked it why it deleted the answer, it denied doing so. And that's regards to DeepSeek, the Chinese version of ChatGPT. AM Vet says, come on, man. LOL. For $3 meal? for Dine and Dashers. Robert said, Dine and Dash, good way to get blacklisted, jail, and kicked out permanently. Now for the second part, sure, the attraction is from Street Fighter or adult online anime games, LOL joke. Actually, no, it's funny how that works. As an adult, when I was like maybe 20, I was still into that. But for now, these days, anime, not so much anymore, but I can see why somebody would think that. I have no shame. I'll tell you guys, whatever. Speaking of telling you guys, let me tell you what happened to me today. So I don't wake up, had my coffee, I was feeling nice. I grabbed a clean shirt from the dryer. Well, not a dryer, from the washer, let's put it that way. A clean shirt, okay? It's nice and smelling good. And I was feeling nice. I was gonna go out there and like interview some people. Right now I'm in Laos, actually in Vientiane, capital city, before I go to the Philippines back there. Anyways, I was feeling nice. I was gonna go out there, have a nice lunch and go talk to people, maybe speak to some girlies and ladies to get them. But then I was just really enjoying this noodle, man. It was just delicious. And when I got up to pay and I was about to go out there and do my thing, I look over here and the splatter of like the soy sauce or whatever sauce, it was like small dots, but I'm like, come on, man. If somebody's talking to you for 30 seconds, they're gonna notice that. So it dropped my confidence. Then I came back and I'm like, forget it. So that's my little story. I don't know why I shared it, but it was just really frustrating because my mood went from like all the way down. So not a big deal if you think about it, but I think it just like kind of killed the mindset I was in to go out there and talk to strangers, maybe do some interviews. But that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you really want to show support, you can buy me a coffee. I left the link in the description. If not, no worries, all good. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.